All right, Bullseye on America time. The Score Baja 1000 finale upon us. We told you about the race. We told you about the people. We told you about the machines. Now we take you to the bittersweet end. As we pulled away from mile marker 235, I started to grasp the reality. It was like being jammed into an industrial-strength paint shaker at the decibel level of a jackhammer. At times rendering a physical throttling that starts at the body core and radiates out through every internal organ.
I think we're off the course.
Oddly, the more violent the shaking, the more serene the occupants are. The chaos of the movement is managed through an equal force of calm in the cockpit. Conversation is staccato, left, blind hill, oil temperature too high, interspersed moments of awe at a landscape that swallows you. Our first leg together a success. The Desert Assassin pit crew set up and ready for us at mile 344. Pete, Brian, and myself got out. Rick Geiser, Scott Connolly, and Kyle Christensen got in. After a long day of racing, we piled into our Ford F-350 truck, littered with equipment and parts, and started the chase. It was here that the realization set in. More than 2/3 of the race remained, and much of that would be raced in the pitch-black desert night. These are people that operate at the outer reaches of human performance. And like anything extreme, it attracts businesses hoping a little of the magic Baja dust will rub off on them.
This is definitely our core demographic. I mean, if you want to get technical about it, and you look at these guys and they have the money to do what they want with the sport, and they're enthusiastic and they're dedicated.
Mexico is a new venture for Prudential California Realty and Prudential Mexico, and it's a way to give back to the country and promote us.
We drove all night, survived a desert engine repair, and 400 miles in the chase truck. We'd been awake for 24 hours when we started our second shift at mile marker 788. As long as the truck held up, we would finish this race from here.
We had an engine problem at about 2 a.m. We broke a rocker arm in the motor, and we just disassembled the valve cover and made it so it would only run on 7 cylinders. So when I got back into the truck at 6 in the morning, me and Dylan and Brian went the last 240 miles on 7 cylinders.
That morning, Pete introduced me to something he's become famous for in other races: passing. After 24 mind-torching hours in the desert, 1,007 miles into the race, minutes from the finish, the engine blows. Cameron's dad, a.k.a. Big Daddy, consults with the race official.
The way the rule is written, it's 1 mile from the finish line.
Okay.
It has got to be under its own power, i.e. engine, starter motor, or its occupant. If anybody touches the car that is not an armbanded person for that car, it's DQ'd.
In compliance with race rules, we're towed to within 1 mile of the finish.
So this car was the big dog. It may be limping, but it'll do it. It just goes to show that money alone won't do it. Heart alone won't do it. Skill won't do it. That as much as all those things matter, and believe me, they do, luck is just as much a factor in who wins this race. I've been trying to think how to describe this, and it breaks into different categories. You've got the nature, you've got Baja, the venue, and the spectacle of the desert next to this turquoise ocean, the Sea of Cortez. And then you've got the machines that are these heaving, pounding monsters that chew through dirt that you wouldn't dare drive a Hummer on at speeds you wouldn't dare drive a sports car.
And then, the final push. And a testimony to how tough this race can be of the 284 racers competing in 26 pro and 5 sportsman classes for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and ATVs. 198 finished. It was a race record. Many of the injured drivers waited until the finish to get treatment, a testimony to the grit and perseverance of those who race the Score Baja 1000. Race pioneer, founder, and Score CEO Sal Fish.
It's not because of the money. It's because of the personal thing. I beat the Baja.
I came out here and challenged it. And this takes a lot. Look at what your crew did. You guys were part of the race. I mean, you had to chase, do all the things to keep up with this story. It's a unique challenge.
As for Bobby and BJ Baldwin and Team Desert Assassins, this race is done, but there are many more to come, and surely the addiction continues.
We finished it!
What a ride. Full coverage 1 week from tomorrow on NBC, December 11th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2004 score, Baja 1000. That's 1 week from tomorrow. Many more of these to come right here on Bullseye, from corporate dog sledding to the technology used in sailing to dropping into volcanoes in search of medical breakthroughs. We will bring it to you. We will do it. I also want to take a very brief moment to thank SCORE CEO Sal Fish for creating the Baja, Cameron Steele and Pete Soren and the rest of the Desert Assassins, and Bobby Baldwin for giving us the ride of our lives.